right, guys, we're going to show you how to use this RV. First and foremost, this is a diesel engine, so make sure the only fuel you put in here is diesel fuel, okay? Also, with diesel vehicles, you're going to use something called diesel exhaust fluid. That helps with the emissions. That's separate, okay? To fill the diesel exhaust fluid tank, you're going to actually lift up this hood here, and there's a little fill spout, and it says DEF on it, DEF. That's for diesel exhaust fluid. That's where you would put that in. It's going to come topped off for you when you pick it up, and then there's going to be a spare gallon of it in the rear compartment in case you do need that. And then as we come around, one other thing, make sure you completely latch this hood shut after you fill that, if you do need to fill that, okay? If you're going short distances, we're talking under 400 miles or something like that, you're not going to need to worry about anything like that, okay? And then as we come around, you do have right here some footsteps to get into the vehicle. Just make sure, this is not an off-road vehicle or anything like that. This is supposed to stay on maintained roads. You're not supposed to take it off-roading or into some weird campground off-grid or anything like this. This is a two-wheel drive vehicle. You don't want to get high-centered or scrape anything along here. Make sure you're giving yourself some area to turn, wide turn. It does turn pretty sharp, but just make sure you give yourself plenty of room to turn and everything as well. You do have a large awning right here. Just remember, any wind, rain, anything like that at all, you want to go ahead and close this. It's not an auto sensing awning where it would automatically close. You have to do it with the button inside. We always recommend, if you're not sitting underneath it, close it. And one thing, do not go to bed and leave it out or anything like that. I guarantee you, if you do that, you're gonna wake up and this whole thing is gonna be ripped off and it's gonna be a big problem for you. So just make sure anytime you're not using it, you have it closed. And then just a reminder, they are very expensive. These cost $1,900 to replace. So if you do damage the awning, you do get to pay for that, unfortunately. And that can add up to a lot of money. You do have a a step that comes out here for your feet to get into the vehicle. When you open up the door, that's gonna automatically slide out. So just make sure your shins or anything, you're kind of out of the way when that comes out. Same thing when you close it, it's gonna go ahead and auto close. You do have a few outlets out here as well. If you wanna cook outside or something like that, that's really handy. Set up a table here or something like that. Just remember, any major appliance, the air conditioner, the microwave, all that stuff, you do need a generator on and running or plugged in at the RV park to run major appliances. You have a nice large storage area here, and then in this compartment right here, if you open it up, there is a television. So you can actually watch, if you're tailgating or something, or you got a game you want to watch, you can actually open that up and watch it outside. That's kind of nice. Set up some chairs. You do have some exhaust ports here. These do get hot, so just make sure you don't lean any gear against this or touch it or anything like that. There's one there and one here. Also, there's another compartment down here. You guys shouldn't need to get into this back compartment for any reason. That's just where we have the generator, or the generator goes in if you have one of those. Right here is your water fill for the water tank. This is for potable water. To do this, you're just gonna undo it here. You're gonna take the garden hose, you're gonna hook it on. You're gonna turn on your garden hose, and then it'll go ahead and start filling the fresh water tank. To monitor this, you're gonna get inside the RV and just double check the gauge. Make sure you don't overfill it. You're gonna watch the water level. Once it gets to full, you can go ahead and turn it off and then come unhook this right here. Also, as we come around here, you can do a little bit of towing. You're not gonna tow a huge trailer or anything, but it does tow up to 3,500 pounds. So just be aware of that. You don't wanna go over that 3,500 pound mark when you're towing anything, okay? As we come around, this kind of another central area for the RV. You have an outdoor shower here. You also have your city water connect. This is where you hook in, and then you'll be running water. That's if you're at an RV park or something like that. We typically actually don't recommend you use this, because when you put the hose on there, you're gonna have constant water. And if you have a water leak, that can turn into a large problem. We always recommend you just fill the water tank, and then anytime you need to use water, you just turn the pump on inside. It's always to the right pressure, and then you can run it that way. Also right here, this one to the right that says caution, just be careful. This is for dumping the black water tank and flushing the tank. So if you hook onto here and you run water through it, it'll actually clean out your black tank. Just make sure if you're doing that, you have the black tank valve open, because the last thing you want to do is have that closed, fill up the black tank, and then that fills up and can cause an issue inside the RV. Right here underneath, as we come around, this is where your dump area is. You have two pull handles. You have a gray and a black. So the gray handle's for the gray water and the black is for the black water, which is sewage. If you're dumping, you're gonna go ahead and hook on the hose to the part right here, and then you'll unscrew it, you'll screw that on, and then the other part goes into the ground at the dump station. You'll pull the black handle first. That's all the sewage, it'll come out and drain. You can flush some water through, as we just talked about a minute ago. And then you're gonna close that one once you turn off the water, and then you'll pull the gray valve, and that's gonna empty out all the kitchen sink water, all the shower water, all that kind of stuff. So you should be good to go. This unit has a large slide out as well. Just make sure that that's not in the way. You're not in the way of any trees or anything like that. That's gonna come out about 4 feet. So just be careful with that. Also, you do not wanna operate the slide out without having the unit level, and we'll go over how to level that with the automatic leveling system when we go inside the RV. One last thing right here is your power cord connect. If you're having shore power or anything like that, you're gonna plug in right here. The other end is gonna go ahead and plug in at the park. Just make sure, every once in a while we'll get a call and somebody says, hey, nothing's working, we're plugged in at the park and nothing works. Make sure you turn the breaker on at the pedestal at the park. A lot of the parks completely shut those off with the breakers prior to your arrival. So what we tell people is double check that, because 99% of the time there's no power at the pedestal. This one's kind of nice because it's got a little green light right here. If you're getting power through, this green light's going to light up. So just be aware of that as well. As we come through here in the front, there's one more area right here. This is another large storage area. There's a door here. You don't really need to get in for anything in here. This is more for like the slide controls and things like that for the slide out and accessing behind the chairs and things like that. So you don't need to get into this one. But one you will need to maybe get into is the propane bay right here. So I'm gonna open that up for you. There's a propane area right here. There's actually a propane gauge right here. That'll tell you your propane level. Now this generator, the generators on these are going to be running a propane generator. So it will use the propane to run the generator. Also, that's going to run your heater, your hot water heater, all that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that. If you want us to fill that for you, we can do that for a small fee. Or you can get and take care of your own propane. Either way is pretty easy. As we come around, we're going to get into a little bit of the RV stuff here. Right here, big red says diesel fuel only. This is a diesel vehicle. Once again, as we talked about, the only fuel that goes into this is diesel. Now to fill this up, you'll open up your door just like this, kind of put it out of the way, and then this is actually where you fill. You're gonna pull the little handle. Big red, once again, it says diesel. I need to say that one more time, diesel fuel only. You do not want to put gasoline in this, diesel only. So you'll fill right here. And then once you're all done, make sure you go ahead and close this flap down. You don't want to be driving and have that open, because you can shut the door and leave that open. The door will shut. So just be aware of that. I'm going to point you to a couple things inside. You do have a very nice driver's compartment here. One really nice feature on this is that these seats swivel and completely turn around to become part of the interior living space. So to do that, we have set the controls, the memory control, the number 3, which is located right here, to where you would push that button. That's going to bring the chairs all the way forward. And then at that point, there's a lever on the inside where you can manually swing it. But you do want to hit the number 3 first. That way it slides it forward, so then it can rotate around. It'll be in the right position for you. Because if you go to turn it now and it's all the way back, it's not going to turn correct and all that kind of stuff. So it can become a little difficult. So just remember, and that's on both sides. This, you'll push the number 3, slides forward, and then you can go ahead and turn it around. Same thing on the other side. Well, we're excited. We're going to go inside and show you how to use everything. Why don't we go in and take a look? All right, guys, we're gonna go over, first of all, how to level the motorhome here. First of all, you're gonna park wherever you're gonna park. Go ahead and turn the coach completely off, okay? Then all you need to do is you're gonna come, actually you're gonna have the door closed. The door needs to be closed. The emergency brake needs to be on. And you're gonna come right over here and just hit the power button, okay? Once you hit the power button, you're just gonna move to the next button which says auto level. You'll go ahead and click that button. and it will start to level the coach. Just make sure everybody's secure, because it does make the RV wobble a little bit when it's raising a jack. It'll do like one jack at a time, come up and then do another jack and then drop one. It'll find its level that way, okay? Pretty simple stuff. Also, when you're going to go ahead and retract them at the end of your trip or at the end of your stay, you're gonna make sure that parking brake's on. Once again, turn everything off. You should at this point actually have the slide out closed prior to disengaging that, but I'll go over that in the next step. So once the slide out's closed, e-brake's on, everything's turned off, you'll hit the retract button and it'll auto retract everything. Once again, prior to leaving your campground, walk around, look underneath the motorhome, make sure all those jacks are completely up. They do hang down a little bit, and it's usually about 8 inches off the ground, so make sure those are completely up off the ground. Couple other items on this area. You have your exterior lighting here, these 3 lights. One's your awning light, a porch light, and then you have your solar controller here, and then you do have your awning extend and retract button there. This right here, you don't ever need to worry about. This is for when it's in like a storage facility. You can actually disconnect all the batteries just with this. Shuts off all the batteries so they don't drain while they're in storage. Pretty cool system here. Just take your time with it and make sure you get everything correct. Once again, everything turned off, power on, auto level, it'll level it. Prior to leaving, make sure slide out's in, e-brake's on, everything else is off, and then you'll hit the power button followed by the all retract button. It's that simple, okay? You just need to make sure you follow those steps and make sure you have everything closed up prior to engaging those or disengaging those. All right, guys, we're gonna come in, I'm gonna show you how to use the slide out. All right, guys, we're gonna go over the slide out control. First of all, we wanna make sure we're completely level, and we just went through that process. Second, I'm just gonna go over this panel and then I'll get into the slide out. Right here are some tank levels, battery levels. It says empty 1/3, 2/3 full. You have your gray tank, your black tank, your fresh tank, your battery levels, and your propane levels, okay? So these are just guides and gauges. If you push them, they'll light up like that. Generator is right here. Just remember, to run that, you need propane. So to start this, pretty simple. You'll hold it down, give it about 3 or 4 seconds, and then you'll hit the start button. You hold that down until it kicks on. Once the generator starts running, about 1 minute later, you'll hear a beep, and that's gonna mean that there's power inside the coach coming from the generator. To stop the generator, just hold this button down. It'll go ahead and turn off, and you should be good to go. There is some gauges or some buttons here. You have your water heater. You're gonna usually run gas, and that's running off propane. We don't even really recommend using electric. We just say gas all the time. Makes it a little easier. And then you have your water pump. Anytime you're running water, you're gonna wanna do that. You don't need to worry about the Arctic area here. We're in Arizona, you don't really need to run that. And then you have your living room lights and your kitchen lights right there, your light switches. You do have a rear light as well right here. And now we're gonna get into the slide control, okay? This is the slide in, slide out button. But there's a few things you need to do to make this work. If you just push the button, it usually won't work. You need to put the vehicle in the right mode to be able to operate the slide. I'm gonna show you how to do that. It's really simple. All you're gonna do is use the start button on the vehicle. So you're actually gonna just do this exact same thing. You're gonna have your start button, which is located right here, okay? You're gonna actually push it one time. That's gonna wake it up. You're gonna push it one more time. You'll hear the beep. The beep means we're ready to go ahead and engage the slide out. So we would go back up here and hit the slide out in or out button. We're gonna send it out, okay? And then you hear it still beeping. So to get that done and stop beeping, you have to hit that start button one more time, just like this. And now we're good to go, okay? Same thing, we're gonna bring the slide out in. We need to go ahead and wake it up, one button. We're gonna hit the number 2. You'll hear it beep. Now we can operate. The beeping is letting us know we're gonna go ahead and operate something, okay? As far as the slide out goes, okay? So right now we would go ahead and retract that slide out in. Once it's completely in, you do your last button, you hit it the 3rd time, and it disengages and we're good to go, okay? Pretty simple, but you just need to make sure you follow those steps, okay? Great, so we're gonna move on to a couple other things. Let's do that right now. All right, guys, we're gonna go over how to use the swivel chairs, okay? First of all, we've set up the memory settings for the seating to help you swivel these seats a little easier. So to engage swiveling, we're gonna go ahead, say this was turned around in the driver position, we're gonna hit number 3. That's gonna set it up so that's easy to swivel. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna reach down, there's a little lever right here in the front, you're gonna pull it and you can easily spin this, okay? Obviously it's not in the proper position because it's hitting the wall, that's why we use number 3. Once you've set it, just like this, you'll hit number 2, and that's gonna actually put it in this exact position. And then once again, when you're ready to swivel it around, I'll just show you, we're gonna hit number 3 button. Gonna go ahead and operate that. See how it kind of comes up and out of the way, just like this. Then you can come in the front, hit that swivel, swivel it around, it locks it in. And then for driving mode, we put it on number 1. So you hit the number 1, and as you can imagine, it'll go back into your driving position, okay? From there, you can adjust it to your liking, but that kind of sets it all up, and it works both on both of these seats. All right, guys, we're gonna talk about some more stuff. Let's go inside here. All right, guys, we're gonna go over how to use the interior of this. First of all, there's a really nice place to stow the ladder. It goes right here. You'll unclip it, you can put it right here, and then climb up on the bed. Just make sure the weight rating on here is 300 pounds. We don't want more than that up here. Also, if you have small children, we recommend you have them sleep closer to the front so they don't roll off the bed in the middle of the night. As you can see, there is a black thing up in the front there. That's actually for your window coverings to go ahead and give you some privacy. That goes on the interior there. You do have a swivel out television, and then once again, this is where you stow your ladder. Pretty nice setup. You have a stereo system here. As we come around, we do have a 2-burner cooktop. Just make sure you don't use an oversized pan on this side. We've noticed that it'll kind of sometimes melt these knobs here. So we recommend big pan on this side, maybe a small pan here if you're using this. And then just make sure that you close this completely. Right now it operates as a backsplash, but close it while you're driving. And it is not a glass cooktop, so don't start these, close it and try to put it and cook on top of this. This is glass, so you don't want to shatter that. Make sure that's up out of the way. As we come here, you do have a nice microwave, and you have plenty of storage above, a really nice sink with a faucet. You can spray or just have regular running water. Pretty nice stuff. Then we come into the fridge here. This is actually an electric fridge, and to operate this, you just hit the power button, and then you can set your temperature. Makes it pretty easy. Perfect. And then you do have a nice freezer as well. This is kind of nice because you can actually open it from both sides. Pretty slick setup. You do have a couple captain's chairs or recliners here. They are electric recliners. There is a button right here on the inside of each side. You can hit those buttons and it'll actually go ahead and set it out for you, and then retract it as well. That is my favorite place in this motorhome. This is a very nice motorhome. As we come back, we're going to talk about heating and air conditioning controls. To run those, you're going to go right here. It's going to cycle through the mode button. It's going to go through the heater, the fan mode, the air conditioner, and off. And then on this side, you're going to set your temperature controls. Pretty easy stuff. Also, while you're driving, make sure this is completely latched. What you don't want it to do is not be latched and then bang around while you're driving. Go ahead and completely latch it anytime you're traveling. Make sure that is secure. All right, guys, we're going to go over one more thing here, and then we're going to go over the bed. Right here is your breaker box, just like your house would have. You have a little breaker there. It's got some switches, some breakers, and some fuses. If there's some type of electrical issue, 99% of the time, maybe you popped a breaker or a fuse or a breaker's been tripped, that's where you would reset those. All right, guys, we're going to go over how to use the bed. All right, guys, we're going to go over how to make this into the bed. Pretty simple. You're just going to remove these back 2 cushions. You can just set them to the side. Pretty simple. Just like that. Then what we're going to do is there's a little handle right here. Anytime you're operating this bed to flip up or to put it down or to put it up, you do need to engage it right here by holding it up, okay? What we like to do is first go ahead and set out these arms. You're just going to pull it out like this. It'll click into the right position. You can hear it click right here, okay? Also, since I'm here, how to disengage these, you just squeeze and then go like that. Otherwise, it's locked if you don't squeeze right here on the end. Same thing here, you're gonna flip this over, just like that. And then, for traveling, when you're traveling, this is actually gonna be clipped. We've unclipped it already, you just squeeze it like this. That makes sure it doesn't fall down while you're driving or anything. Once you're set up like this, you're gonna pull this lever and rotate it down. Now, there's a mattress back there. We're just gonna give you one tip. Sometimes those mattresses can slide down a little bit. So when you go to put this down, the mattress is kind of in the way and it's kind of finicky. So make sure if it's not coming very easily, you might need to reach back and pull the mattress up while you're putting it down, okay? There is a strap that we've already strapped there for you, so it should be in the right position, but in case that happens, you'll pull on it a little bit to make sure it doesn't fall back behind and you can't rotate the bed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and engage this. We're gonna pull on this a little bit. Should just come down super easy. It's sticking a little bit right there, so you'll reach that, grab that mattress like we talked about, kind of pull it back, just like that. Now, this isn't completely out yet. This folds out one more time. Make sure that you're not putting like weight on this or anything. We're just gonna go like that. Then your mattress flips just like this, and that's the strap we were just talking about a minute ago. That kind of keeps it in the proper position while you're folding it or unfolding it. Pretty nice stuff, super nice bed. You can still get to the bathroom at night. Person could get out on this side, person on that side. Very nice for this side, this size of RV. I'm just gonna reverse the process and show you how it works. So what we're gonna do is fold it back up just like this, okay? Then we're gonna take this part, fold it again, just like that, drops into place. Now remember, anytime we're engaging this, we need to get the lever. We're gonna lift up on the lever. We're gonna swing this back up. Sometimes it's easier if you walk around to the front. Just lifts up just like this. Gets back into that position. Do us a favor. Prior to closing that, make sure you've turned off all your lights. All the lights above the or below the cabinets. Otherwise, we got to completely open it to turn those lights off. You don't want to drain your batteries or something like that. Now to fold these, once again, remember, you're going to push this button, engage it, go ahead and push it in, swing it around, and that's it. You can go ahead and put your cushions back on. And now you're back into what I like to call travel mode. The other one's kind of sleeping mode, and it's pretty cool out of the way. All right, so we're gonna go over real quick the inside of the bathroom. Come on in, let's take a look. First of all, we're gonna talk about how to flush the toilet. To engage that, you're gonna push down the valve on the side there. You're gonna push it down halfway. It'll actually fill the bowl with a little bit of water. You'll go ahead and handle your business, and then when you need to flush, you push it completely down and all the water goes out. We're gonna talk about the shower here. When you go in, you're gonna have the shower, normal nozzles, make sure the water pumps on, all that kind of stuff. And then anytime you're traveling, you wanna make sure you close it and latch it. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and close it, just like this. Make sure this is latched. Last thing you wanna be driving and have some glass shatter back here or something for you. A couple other things that we missed on this side are the GFCI outlet in the corner, and also a nice little sink area. You do have some lighting options here. This is a great bathroom. It's probably one of my favorite bathrooms in a motorhome. So this RV is fantastic. You guys are gonna love it. It's literally one of my favorites. We hope you love it, and we'll see you soon.